Hello, I'm sure all of you have played video games at one point, but today I will teach you how to code one yourself. We will use the platform Scratch and create this game called Clean the Beach. So let's see what the game is about. Okay, so as all of you could see, the game is about segregating garbage according to its respective bin. For example, we started off with a banana, and that is obviously wet waste. So I had to put it in the green bin, which is specific for wet waste, and so on for other items as well. So let's go ahead and see how the game basically works and how to code it. Okay, so this is the code for the game. Now first let me describe the backdrop. So this is the backdrop that I've chosen, and this is basically the beach background that you can see over here. So let me walk you through the code for it. So when we start the game, it will by default go to this beach backdrop, and then if our score hits 10, if our score is 10, that means that we have won the game. And if the time is also more than 0, which means that the time has not ended, then it's going to display a you win message, which is described by the you win background over here, and it will stop all sounds and then play a clapping sound to show that you have won. But if that does not happen, and if the time hits 0 before your score hits 10, then it's going to show you that you lose. And by default, when you click the green arrow, which means that when you start the game, it's going to play a sound, which is a little something to keep you entertained. So now let's look at the actual code for the game. So firstly, what you can see over here are sprites. You can think of them as characters or elements that you would interact with in your game. So let me give you an example. So over here is the banana. So this banana is an image that I've picked off the internet and uploaded it to Scratch as a sprite, which means that I will be able to use it as an interactable element. And what the goal is that you can see all of these sprites over here. I'm supposed to segregate them according to their respective bin, and the bin themselves are also sprites. So let me take an example. So for banana, as you can see at the start of the code, we are going to set all variables to 0 to initialize the game. We are also going to display each of these sprites, such as banana or crumple, basically the garbage, at any random position between these coordinates, so it can spawn anywhere from here, and this makes the game a bit more challenging. Then it will obviously set your score to 0 because we don't want to give you a head start, right? And as long as the time is more than 0, the game is going to continue. So this is an if loop, and it's an if else condition. So if one specific action happens, then it will follow the code that is under this area. So let me just explain this. So if the banana touches sprite 3, now in this case sprite 3 is the green bin, and this is the correct bin for putting the banana in. So it will increase your score by 1, then it will wait for some time and it will play a sound pop to know that you have put it in a bin, and then it will hide the banana because its job is completed, and it's going to go ahead and put the next item in a random place between these coordinates, and then it will broadcast a little message. So over here it's written come, but it can be anything just to signify that this action is over. Now obviously if that does not happen and you put it in any other bin, then this else statement will come into play. So else, if this thing is touching any other sprite, so say sprite 2 or sprite 1, everything else is similar but the score decreases by 1 instead. So let me just explain another one. So if we go to paper, then it's the same code, except this time if it touches sprite 2, which is the blue bin, and this is the bin for paper and plastic. So only if it goes over here, then it is going to play the pop sound, and then it's going to increase your score by 1. Otherwise, it will just hide your object and decrease your score if you get the wrong one. So as you could see, it was quite a basic game, and this is the same for all of the objects. So if I go to plastic bottle, if I go to plastic bag, then as you can see this trend continues. So it basically works like that, And obviously, if you want to check this out, then the game's name is Clean the Beach. And I would recommend all of you to try this game yourself without looking at the code. So let's see if you can get it done correctly and if the game works.